Setting up this investment with the correct expectations on the front end is so important. That's why you have to work with a world-class team who has significant experience doing this. And they also have significant data to back up their expectations. That's what we do. So we run reports and analysis on over 3,000 properties that we have sold to clients to make sure that their cash flows are continuing to grow over time instead of going cash flow negative, which could lead to some stress and potentially running out of money. So you got to know your numbers up front. You do that by working with a team who's put their own money in it before and who's managed it for 17 years for us. But when you have that, it's not that hard. It's not something you have to be scared of, right? These numbers come back to the norm. So like, for example, on the maintenance side, you understand that on a new construction home, you hold back about 4% of the cost or 4% of the rent that you collect in terms of a maintenance cost every single year. For vacancy costs, the same thing. It's the amount of rent that you're not able to collect because the home is vacant. Well, that's about 3% of the rent collected. So you start to manage to these expectations, and then you prepare for it as well. So we make sure that the investments that you're purchasing can absorb those costs and still produce positive cash flow. And that's certainly possible. But then in addition to that, we set you up to make sure you have the right reserves in place, because if there's a rainy day, we want to make sure that this money does not come out of your, let's call it your operating account for your family. When you have to start taking money away from your family expenses to pay for an unforeseen rental property expense, you're not going to be a happy camper. So there are so many things you can do. Number one, work with the best team. Number two, know the data, prepare appropriately, buy the right asset would be number three that can support the costs. And then, number four, make sure you have reserves for a rainy day. You'll be in a good spot.